Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Arise 360. We are your go-to destination for the latest in art, culture, entertainment and lifestyle from all around the world. Now, coming up on today's show, we check out what went on at the Polo luxury event. Lupita pens an open-ed on her encounter with Weinstein. The photographer who inspired Beyoncé's push party photos is being honored by the Cartier Foundation. And some insight on what's happening at this year's Lagos Fashion and Design Week. It's all right here, so make sure you stay tuned. Kicking off our stories tonight, Weinstein list of alleged victims continues to grow as another person comes forward, and this time through a major newspaper outlet. Lupita Nyong'o has shared her encounter with Harvey Weinstein in an open-ed in the New York Times. Now, the Academy winner was led into Weinstein's bedroom where he requested to give her a massage. So she thought he was joking and quickly found out he wasn't, so she offered him a massage in efforts to take a more controlling position. Lupita says he started removing his pants in discomfort. She asked him to put his pants back on. When he didn't, she headed for the door. Like many of Weinstein's 30 alleged victims who have come forward, he used his high-profile position and power to lure women. She says, "I hope we are in a pivotal moment where as a sisterhood and brotherhood of allies is being formed in our industry. I hope we can form a community where a woman can speak up about abuse and not suffer another abuse by not being believed and instead being ridiculed." Well, that's why we don't speak up. Fear of suffering twice, and for fear of being labeled and criticized by our moment of powerlessness. Now, that's very deep stuff. And while we're talking about moments of powerlessness, there is a Nigerian rapper who is taking his power. MI and recording label Chocolate City are suing Queensbridge rapper for a not-so-sweet verse. So in 2013, Chocolate City approached Nasir Jones, better known as Nas, and Mass Appeal Records' Ronnie Goodman to have the Illmatic rapper create a verse alongside MI. They agreed to pay Nas $50,000 with a few stipulations. He had to include the MI, Chocolate City, Nigeria, Queens, New York, Nas's hometown of course, Mandela, Trayvon Martin, and the adverse issues of Africans and African Americans in his verse. So Nas did provide the track, however, none of the key terms he was meant to rap about were mentioned. MI's record label requested for Nas to re-record the verse, and 3 years later, they are still waiting for that verse. Now, even with a $50,000 lawsuit, the Nigerian label is maneuvering professionally, and they made a statement saying he is a highly respected lyricist in the music industry and wanted to collaborate because of Nas's exceptional talent as a lyric writer. However, they want him to pay up. Oh gosh, that's gotta be a frustrating state of affairs. But we're still keeping it in African news as we head over to Kenyan designers who have pieced together a collection of photos and essays into a book on what it means to be African enough. Now, the book, entitled Not African Enough, features 14 East African designers, part of an art group called Nest. Now, inside the book, you will find their thoughts and feelings of the pressure to use wax print in their designs and exemplify the preconceived notion of being African. The Nairobi-based designers want to take back the ideology of what is African fashion and explain the range of mediums and materials they work within, from leathers to local minerals. One of the designers, Ami Doshi Shah, who also took most of the photos in the book, said, "Not African enough is a derogatory term routinely lobbed at artists, creators, and thinkers who step outside the narrow confines of what the world, and Africans, of course, think it means to look, talk like, think like, and be an African." The book is a reflection of their work, history, and thoughts, and a response to their Africanness. Now, I think this is very powerful because I, for one, get completely frustrated whenever people refer to African print as African design. Everything is always, oh, you know, put a print on it, and, you know, and that has created this preconception of what our creativity is all about. We're more than print, and we're more than design. We have a whole world of creativity within us, and especially in the fashion world. We do have quite a lot of insight from the world of African fashion coming up later, but you want to make sure you stay tuned. We're going to go for a quick ad break. When we return, we've got that good stuff. And we're back. You're still tuned into Arise 360. I'm your girl, Miss Vimbai, taking you through this 30 minutes of all the best from the world of entertainment, art, and culture. And we like to focus on what happens here on the continent, which is why this Sunday, one of our contributors caught the Polo Avenue fashion series at Polo Luxury. So as part of their CSR initiative to support and promote local designers, they partnered with designer Wisdom Ababa, creative director for Wisdom Franklyn, the design of what I'm wearing right now, by the way, and he's showcasing his spring and summer 2018 collection. So, all right, enough of me chatting about the clothes. I know you want to have a look. This is what went down. Have a look at it.
Hi, I'm Nene Nyugo, and you are watching Arise 360. We are at the lovely Polo Avenue for the Polo Avenue Fashion Series. It looks like it's going to be a really great event. This is the 4th edition, so let's check it out.
It's killing them all, of course. Make we scatter this place tonight. Dance and sweat till like in a fight. We must settle this thing tonight. Yeah. Come, let us catch some feelings for night. Yeah. And if
Hey, it's me, and we're inside Polo Avenue. Stay tuned as we have a chat with Wisdom, the creative director for Weiz, Durhm, and Franklyn, and check out some of the models and a few of the pieces they have at this beautiful location. Stay tuned.
because of you, I get to go strong. All over. This feeling got me falling. All over. Get tired of something they do me for body. All over. I make you.
I mean, Nigeria has so much budding talent, and at Polo, we recognize the need to support them financially, morally, and place them in the international scene. We do this and placing these brands side by side with international brands, such very successfully, like Gucci, Salvatore Ferragamo.
This loving, no be chop and go. Because of you, I get to
Wisdom Franklyn, the designer that showcasing today, is one that I love. His pieces are very extra, for lack of a better way to put it. But it's extra in a good way. It's like organized chaos. And it absolutely works for me. I'm wearing one of his more simpler designs today.
We'll have to get that on camera.
Yeah. But I'm very interested to see what he showcases here today.
Got me falling all over. Get tired of something they do me for body, all over. I make me spend this money, all over. This one like Julie and Romeo. Original Bongolo Bobo. Say na me where they make them shoko. Love me gentle, love me tender. Yeah. And if you tell me, say make a fellow.
The collection is inspired by the ancient Egyptian culture, the heritage. So I traveled to Egypt earlier this year to gain more inspiration and have more knowledge about the inspiration. So I'm able to do the right thing. Egyptian inspired motifs, lots of hand beading patterns, lots of structures, lots of 3D art forms, which is something I'm beginning to really love and like.
Don't go waste time, but to do like so. Hello. Everybody me Joe, this go. This loving, no be chop and go. Not because of you, I get to go strong. All over. This feeling got me.
We're looking at how we can push out this talent to the world, because knowing fully well that Polo is known for global brands. So how do we try to help, position the local designers here in Africa to project them around the world? So this is the reason why we're here. We're here to celebrate craftsmanship. We're here to celebrate excellence. We're here to celebrate creativity. We're here to celebrate aesthetics. So we deem it fits that Wisdom, based on his design and his collections, it's due for us to start the 2017 fashion series.
Make me spend this money, not because of you, I get to go strong. All over. This feeling got me falling. All over. Get tired of something they do me for body, all over. I make me spend this money, all over. get it good all over. This feeling got me falling all over. Get as is something they do me for body, oh, all over.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Bayuana. I'm the Executive Director of Polo Limited. Keep watching Arise 360.
My name is Olamone Senduka. I'm the marketing manager for Polo Luxury Group. I am on Arise 360.
Do me for body, oh, all over.
Oh, so you've got sparkle, you've got glitter, it's structured, it's out of this world. I love the Egyptian influence. Wisdom, Franklyn, you are a genius, darling. But we're going to keep it moving, out with the new and in with the old, or is it the other way around? Well, the second-hand clothing market in East Africa is undercutting the US to help build the local industry. Millions of individuals around the world send clothes for those in need or to be resold in second-hand shops throughout African countries. Now, many people have entered into the gently worn industry as it's proving to be very lucrative and fruitful, especially the free market principles it follows. Now, however, used clothing that is in satisfactory condition undercuts new clothes being made domestically. So the hit has been so intense that the government of the East African Community, also known as the EAC, made up of Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, Burundi, and Uganda, plans to rule out clothing importation by 2019 to increase production locally. So the US, in opposition, says that this shift could put 40,000 jobs at risk and creating significant hardship on the US clothing industry. Now, the US Trade Representative has threatened to place sanctions on African countries and launched a review of AGOA, a trading deal between 38 African nations that permits tariff-free entry to their thousands of goods. According to McKinsey, if Africa strengthens their local manufacture industries, it could jointly double from $500 billion in 2016 to $930 billion by 2025, and in 10 years could reach over $5.5 trillion. And on that note, we've got plenty more coming up to you after the break, but let's just take a quick breather. Make sure you don't move. And we're back. You're still tuned into Arise 360, where our focus today is all about the world of fashion as we count down the days until the launch of Lagos Fashion and Design Week. But we're bringing you headlines, and so we continue to do so from the rest of the continent. Now, Malian photographer Malik Sidibe, the inspiration behind Beyonce's Push Party photos, is being honored at the Cartier Foundation in Paris, darling. And that's a year after his passing. His work is being honored in an exhibition entitled Malik Sidibe, Mali Twist. Now, the display will showcase over 250 of his extraordinary images. Sidibe's photos capture moments of happiness as his subjects dance and laugh along the riverbank of the Niger. In 1952, while in school, he met noted French photographer Gerard Guillard and started shooting the nightlife around the local communities. After the Malian independence in 1960, he opened his studio and was coined Eye of Bamako because of the way he captured the culture of the youth. Now, you've got to love a good fashion stories, and you know by now it's fashion season here in Lagos, and we have the latest of this year's Lagos Fashion and Design Week. Now, kicking off Wednesday, the Heineken-powered event is bringing the biggest and the brightest fashions to Eco-Atlantic from all around Africa. Founded by Stylehouse Files, their aim is to continue to build and strengthen the fashion industry here on the continent. Programs surrounding the event include fashion talks, business series, and of course, plenty of parties. This year's theme is Africa Shaping Fashion's Future. Marketing Director of Nigerian Breweries, Franco Maria Maggi, said at the sponsorship dinner, "We are excited to be a part of this unique experience once again as Lagos shows the beauty of African fashion to the world and how Africa will shape fashion's future." Maggi continued with the event's ambitions to showcase the first Heineken African-inspired fashion collection this year in display of their appreciation of Africa designs and designers. The project was a collaborative effort between Heineken East Africa, Global Heineken Design Team, as well as the Nigerian team, of course. We are very excited about LFDW, and I love the fact that it's growing to become a platform for not just Nigerian designers, but for designers from all across Africa. Now let's take a look at some designers that you can look out for. Orange Culture, Makio, I Am Sigo, Gray, Loza, Maleombo, Lisa Folawio, of course. So plenty to look forward to. And in the spirit of that, As we are super excited about this year's Lagos Fashion and Design Week, why not bring you a little bit of the action? So some of your favorite designers will be showcasing their amazing cuts and pieces. And this event will start on Wednesday at Echo Atlantic. You better be there. So now let's take a fun look at what happened last year. So much fun. Now we got the fast pass, to the front row. So let's take a look and get scooped on LFDW 2016.
Hey guys, okay, so today we're gonna be looking at street style. Street style is like the highlight of Fashion Week. It could actually be more important than the shows themselves because really, come on, let's call a spade a spade. People come all this way to show themselves. And street style is the one time where it's perfectly okay to do the most for the gram. If you're looking for those likes, for those retweets, reposts, this is literally the place. Do the most, do what you gotta do. I mean, I've seen people wearing like plastic bags, I've seen people wearing gym shorts. It's just, but you know what, let's find out how to get the most out of street style. So come on guys, follow me.
The two words.
Yeah.
First, the Jews, be comfortable, and don't try to be someone else.
But you know who I'm looking for? I'm looking for those Instagram slayers. Those girls with the blue tick next to their names on Instagram. So you like school us about the street style thing? Because you see those pictures and people are like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all like so nonchalant and stuff. And I saw you had like a photographer on tow and everything.
Yeah. What now, I said originality matters. That's the first thing we ought to understand. So basically what we're looking for is be yourself.
Yeah.
So just stand, move.
No, but this one is not going to give you room.
Be confident and free. So I like free clothes.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see you doing it.
I love it.
Just,
I live
being high photo shoot.
Like just comfortable.
Yeah. So can we get you to bring, the best shot out of her? So we want to capture that process.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. I love that.
Timing is key.
Timing.
Don't go pushing photo at 3 a.m. Ain't nobody
Nobody's gonna like it.
Ain't nobody like it. Yeah.
All right. Well, apparently that's how you take a really hot street style picture.
As you can see, we did the most at LFDW last year, so we're going to be killing that street style again this year. But before we get into that, we're going to take another quick break. We'll see you very shortly. And we're back, darlings, bringing you absolutely the best from the world of entertainment, arts and culture. This is Arise 360, and I'm your host again, Miss Vimbai. Now, before the break, if you're only just tuning in, by the way, you're on a long thing. You missed out on the best of the action. But we still got plenty of goodies for you as we take a look at some of the things that went on at LFDW last year. If you missed it, then you've got another opportunity to live your fashion dreams and slay to the gods this year at LFDW. But let's take a look at some more hot stuff that happened last year through my eyes in the front row at LFDW.
So just so you guys know exactly how exclusive this show is, you can see the models are rehearsing. It's just before Fashion Week. I'm so excited. Today is day 2 and we're checking out some of the hottest designers all across Nigeria right here at Hanneken's Lagos Fashion and Design Week. But I want to give you guys a little exclusive that you're not going to get anywhere else. So come on, follow me. Let me take you into the places that nobody else will ever show you. These are the front row diaries, darling.
So, you know, we've got all the front row access, and unfortunately, if you can't make it there, actually, fortunately, let me correct myself. If you can't make it there, then you know you need to stay tuned to Rise 360, where we're going to bring you absolutely everything, all the magic, because that's how we do here. We have all the exclusive passes, but we only get a few minutes in a day, and our time is up. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. I'm your girl, Miss Vambai, hosting you. Until next week, mwah, have a wonderful week.